Now Dave's off for some fine food accompanied by fine wines at Divine.
Here we are at a totally divine restaurant. We had to come back a second time. This is Jason's flight, and this is not just a restaurant, it's a wine bar.
Definitely.
You know about wine bars, you've all been to them, but this is the only one in Chicago that has good food and good service. Okay, enough said. Jason, tell me what we've got here.
First of all, we have a seared ostrich, seared outright with peppercorns around the side, sauteed leeks and corn, and a light veal stock reduction at the base.
He really matches things up. So tell me what we're having here.
Because of the light texture of the meat and the corn and the leeks, I choose a wine that's medium body, good hints of cherry and fruit. So we chose a Marcini, which is 100% Pinot out of Burgundy. And it's from a maker called, or a producer called Domaine Saint Martin. And it's mid-level in Burgundy. It's very nice, light finish, medium body in the center, but not too much tannin, so it really doesn't overpower the wine. The ostrich being seared at rare, has a soft, subtle texture, but not too much. And the pepper just accompanies the flavor of the wine on the way out. So,
how many wines? There's in the back of the room are several food service professionals, FSPs as I call them, who are in the industry, and they're all saying this is the best wine list I've ever seen.
Yeah, there's quite a variety. We're shooting. I never really intentionally put that many wines on the list, but I just kept following the different degrees of levels of subtle hints of wines that I liked, and it ended up being about I think we're at about 400 right now.
Wow.
And then we're pouring about 40 wines by the glass,
cool.
Which changes entirely every week.
A little chintz cracker. Tell me what we've got here.
Parmesan.
Actually,
it's a Parmesan Reggiano cage, which is completely shredded, lightly heated up within the oven to place, obviously to melt it down in the circular unit that we have right here. Then we're taking the arugula, lightly tossing in a light vinaigrette. Heirloom tomatoes, we're taking the red and the yellow, slicing them in half, putting a nice creme in between each layer and stacking it up. It's very fresh, very light. They're nice to have the tomatoes in there because they do have the acidity that you need with a nice smoked flavor of the arugula.
Arugula down here.
And with that being with the acidity of the tomatoes, I didn't want to put heavily acidic wine, obviously, to counteract it. So I chose the Andrew Murray, it's called the Enchante. It's actually a blend of Viognier, Marsanne, and Semillon, which is nice. So you got a good fruit-forward flavor.
All right.
So definitely. Seared Canadian foie gras, chive-oil around the base, toasted brioche, mâche greens over the top, and caramelized onion on the side.
So you've got a sweet wine with this?
You know what? I chose a wine because a lot of people just assume that Rieslings are a sweet wine, but this particular vintage, it's actually a Riesling Auslese Ozego Wurzgarten from Christofeld. Let me get through the wine first. I chose a Riesling Auslese, which is a medium, I'd say, demi-sec wine. It's got a bit of a sweetness to it, but not too much. The actual vintage itself contains a nice dark honey color to it. Fruit up front, but just fades out very evenly. It's a very balanced and complex wine, and I think it complements foie gras any day, more so than just going with traditional Sauterne and Boisiac.
Let me tell you, there are a few things that don't go with foie gras. There is no other wine bar that I know of that really matches the wines with this quality of food. A lot of people have a bigger list of wines, but none that at this price can do this. So we're going to run downstairs. We're going to watch Chef cook.
Excellent.
And we'll be right back.
All right.
Hi, I'm Chef Michael Kerwin. Down here, tonight we're going to present a seared ahi tuna. It will be sesame crusted and presented with wasabi whipped potatoes and a plum wine sauce. So first I'm going to season the tuna and then crust it in sesame. Next we'll sear the tuna rare. Nice hot pan. Now you briefly want to sear this on all sides because you want it to stay nice and rare because the ahi tuna is such a lean fish that you don't want to overcook it. Next we'll get our plate nice and warm. All right, plate should be hot. And the tuna should be ready. Take our wasabi whipped potatoes and slice our tuna. Next, we'll take our plum wine reduction and put it right over the tuna. Garnish with fresh cut scallion. Some diced chives. Bon appetit.
Hey, we're rocking, we're rolling, we're back. Just so the chef wrap up this tuna. And
Yep.
so Jason, what's the wine tonight?
The one they were using with the tuna actually is a 96 Valkenburg Pinot Gris. And that's going to actually be the Pfalz region in Germany. Nice fruity wine, not too much acidity, and goes well with tuna because tuna isn't a very overpowering dish. But you do have a little bit of wasabi in the potatoes, which it would be whipped in, and a plum wine reduction around the side. So very, very good.
Tell me what we're having here. Now tell me what this is.
Well, you actually got the entire shank, which is braised, cleaned French. So you got the inner part of the shank cleaned up, fresh French beans, lightly sautéed off.
Haricots verts.
Thank you.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's great.
I always say this, but you know, when I used to get green beans, get a big old can of green beans years ago. Of course, there's no such thing as canned vegetables anymore. But now haricots verts, you get 3 or 4. Anyway,
The French beans. All right.
Okay,
An augie, which is more or less maybe like a potato au gratin.
Really?
We're doing an upstate New York cheddar over the top of that, and they're baked in the oven. And then with Langshank, rosemary and veal stock reduction. And with that, I've chosen a David Bruce Petite Syrah, lightly bold wine, good acidity, a good body with a lot of fruit on it. And it really counteracts and covers the flavors of with the lamb as well, which I think is really nice. Like, excellent combo right there. And next, we're going to move on to the pasta. Angel hair, tomatoes, fair amount of garlic, fresh shaved Reggiano over the top, and giant baked shrimp. And with that, I did a Vert Classé white burgundy, good minerally wine.
these are all available every night, right?
Every single night. Actually, every one of the wines. Actually, the items that we have right here are actually items I pour by the glass.
Great.
So which are
very rare, very rare.
more accessible to most people than most places.
So we are here at the #1 wine bar in any neighborhood in Chicago.
Definitely.
At least it's the most fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at the camera,
Yeah.
Jason. Give me your phone number, your hours, your address, when you're open. Boom.
We're open Monday through Saturday, Monday through Thursday, 5 to 10:30. On the weekends, we're open from 6 until 11:30, and then closed on Sundays. That's basically the gist of it.
Hey,
Our
everybody.
phone number is 773-235-5700.
We're going to see this chef at Green Tie Ball. I want everybody to come. We're limiting tickets to 3,000. Boom. Thanks, man.
Cheers. I'll see you there, Mike. It'll be great. Okay, good.
Cool. So I have to try this right here. This is just.
Oh, this is